Town Charter, I have appointed Dennis Kingsbury to the position of part-time van driver for the Council on Aging. Mr. Kingsbury is stepping into this 19-hour-per-week position effective June 7, 2018, at the Grade 5, Step 1 rate of $15.68 per hour. Respectfully, Donna Season, Interim Town Administrator. What is the board's pleasure?
Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion to approve the ratification of to appoint Dennis Kingsbury to the position of part-time van driver for the Council on Aging.
Motion by Christine. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Jim. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none. Unanimous decision. Okay, now I think I have the right one here, right? Okay. This is Dear Chairman Duval. This letter is to advise the Board of Selectmen that subject to the board's ratification as provided in Section 10 of the Town Charter, I have appointed Tristan Ferreri and Timothy Morgan to the two open positions of Operator 1 for the Department of Public Works. The town received 6 applications for the position. DPW Working Foreman Tim Code and I interviewed the top 4 candidates. The decision to hire Mr. Ferreri and Mr. Morgan is based on their previous work experience with private companies and their excellent performance as seasonal employees these past few months. Based on the interviews and their strong work performance this year for the town, the DPW director believes both individuals will be outstanding additions to the department. Mr. Ferreri and Mr. Morgan will start at Operator 1, Step 1, with a rate of $15.82 per hour. Sincerely, Donna Season, Interim Town Administrator. What is the board's discretion here?
Make a motion to ratify the appointment of Tristan Ferreri and Timothy Morgan to the positions of Operator 1 for the Department of Public Works.
Motion made by Rick. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Christine. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none. Unanimous decision. Next on the agenda, ratification of wastewater treatment plant technical clerk / Operator 1 position. We have a letter, Dear Chairman Duval. This letter is to advise the Board of Selectmen that, subject to the board's ratification as provided in Section 10 of the Town Charter, I've appointed Jared Genzabella to the position of Operator 1 Technical Clerk for the wastewater treatment plant. Mr. Genzabella holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Environmental Science, and he has a solid work history in paper manufacturing. He currently possesses a Massachusetts Grade 3 wastewater treatment plant operator's license, and he will be seeking a Grade 4 license in short order. In hiring Mr. Genzabella, I am confident he will have the ability to perform his new duties as technical clerk at the high professional level. Mr. Genzabella will start at Operator 1, Step 1, with a rate of $16.98 per hour. Respectfully, Donna Season. What is the board's pleasure?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to ratify the appointment of Jared Genzabella to the position of Operator 1 Technical Clerk for the wastewater treatment plant. And I do so looking at this letter, and it's nice to have somebody coming on board that already has a plant operator's license, so I'll make that motion.
Okay, Joe makes the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Jim. You got you?
That's fine.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none. Unanimous decision. We have a notice of assignment of street number, 0 Hathaway Street to 19 Hathaway Street. This is from map 108, parcel 64. The property owner is Joseph Augustus. His current number is 0 Hathaway Street. The proposed number is 19 Hathaway Street. Effective immediately, the above street number change has been implemented. Please be advised that it is your responsibility to notify the utility companies of this change. Per the town, this is a letter from the chairman to this individual. Per the Town of Adams Charter and Code of Law, Section 13-1, numbering of buildings, the Board of Selectmen may order numbers to be affixed to or painted on the building on any public or private way in their discretion. The owner of every house shall comply with such order within 10 days thereafter. Sincerely, John Duval, Chairman, Board of Selectmen. What is the board's pleasure? We do vote on these.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve this.
Okay, we have a motion by Jim to change the house number from 0 Hathaway Street to 19 Hathaway Street. Property owner Joseph Augustus. We have a second.
Second?
Second by Rick. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I just have a question now. How can a house have become 0 Hathaway and then go to 19? How did it originally get to 0? Does anybody know that? Yeah, I know it's a law, but never a number on, okay, all right, I got it, thank you.
Okay, so to answer that question, there was never a number assigned.
Yeah.
Yeah, good question, Joe. I had the same question. Okay, so I believe we have a motion, a second already. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none, unanimous decision. We have a request for a one-day malt license application from Bright Ideas Brewing. Do we have someone here to represent them? Yes, could you please come on up? And state your name, organization.
Sure. I'm Colleen Rafferty. I'm the operations manager at Bright Ideas Brewing in North Adams, Massachusetts.
Okay. Now, is this in support of the MagicCon events?
Yes, we're seeking a one-day pouring permit for the afternoon of the MagicCon event.
Okay, the date and time of the event is July 21st, 2018,
That's correct.
11:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. And anticipated event attendance 2,000 to 4,000, I hope so.
Wishful thinking.
And it's going to be a two-day event this year, I believe, right?
That's correct. I believe the second day is more family-friendly or geared towards children, and there won't be alcohol at that part of the event.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, seeing that everything is order, I'd like to make a motion to allow a application for a malt-only one-day license to Colleen Rafferty, representing Bright Ideas Brewing, for the Wizarding Festival to be held on July 21st, 2018, from the hours of 11:30 a.m. to 6 p.m.
We have a motion by Joe. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Rick. And the police chief requested a letter on the prevention of underage consumption, and Bright Eyes Brewing, Colleen, has provided a lengthy letter here and how they're going to enforce that. And thank you for doing that.
Of course.
Okay, any further discussion? Have a motion, right?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none. Unanimous. Thank you and good luck.
Chairman, I have to abstain. I'm sorry.
You're
As a
gonna
member
abstain?
of the Pro Adams Board, I do
Okay.
need to abstain.
All right, you're going to dress up in the wizard outfit this year?
No, I will not.
Okay.
I will be at the event, though.
See you later, Ray.
Next on the agenda is a facility use request for the transfer station, the Alert Hose Company. Okay, this is somewhat relatively new. We've had individuals up there that are running for office. They stand up there with their signs, things like that. Chief Pansecchi has requested, and I have the email that was sent to the town hall. The Alert Hose Company has our major fundraiser coming up soon. It is our third annual golf ball drop on September 8th, 2018. We dropped 2,000 individually numbers golf balls from our ladder truck. Each member sells tickets that match the numbers on the golf balls. We would like to sell the tickets at the transfer station on East Road on Saturday mornings for a couple of weeks, late July, early August. Okay, that is the request from Chief Pansecki for the Adams Fire Department. Donna, do you have anything you'd like to add to this, or you?
Well, I have not signed or approved this, and I do think the board needs to evaluate this, not that it's not a wonderful idea, but I do have some concern that this might open the floodgates to other worthwhile public events wanting to sell raffle tickets at the transfer station. So it's just something that I think the board needs to be cognizant of.
Hi, could you state your name and your organization, please?
Good evening. Michael Therian, Secretary of the Alert Hose Company. And just for clarification, that came from the Alert Hose Company, not Chief Pansecki.
Right, this came from the Alert, thank you for that. The Alert Hose Company, number one, Michael Therian, Secretary.
Correct.
Thank you.
And we're just looking for July 28th, August 4th, and August 11th, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Like I said, it's for we're raising money for our 150th anniversary, which is in 2026. So we're trying to do a little planning. We're planning on having a pretty large celebration and trying to get some funds in. So, like I said, requesting the facility use at the transfer station and be greatly appreciated.
So what is specifically your plan? Is you can have a fire truck up there?
No, we're just gonna
Or just
set up an 8x8 easy up tent.
Okay,
Just in case we do get a call, we can quick head out and we're not gonna be taking up very little space.
okay, so you can have a tent, a table?
Yeah.
Okay.
And a couple spaces for parking on the side, so we won't impede any of the traffic
Okay.
coming in and out.
All right, Board of Selectmen, questions?
Well, I'd like to say that I have a concern, as Donna does, but on the other hand, we're talking about our fire department, who is all volunteers and who do a great service to our community. Because of that reasoning, anything I can do as a selectman that has to do with public safety, which our firemen protect us, and they also do many other things in this community. I can understand your point, but in this particular case, I feel that this is warranted. If I'm not mistaken, years ago, I think the veterans used to go up there and sell poppies.
I wouldn't know, but
And I know, once again, it could open up a can of beans, but as a select board, we could make the decision whether that fell within the auspices of something that was related to our town. So that's my statement right now, and I'd like to hear from other selectmen what they think about it.
Okay, Jim, you got anything?
Yeah, that's basically like what the fundraisers were, they have the booths on the side of the road, it's the traffic stop, basically, right? The only
No, we're not.
Not stopping traffic, you're just collecting,
Right. We're just offering up to people.
right?
We're just trying to, another avenue. And how we do the golf balls, we have the 2,000, we drop them all. But we do the individual ticket sales beforehand. We try to sell all those. And we have just the main prize, and we've gone out to businesses outside of Adams, because we don't want to keep hitting the same people for extra prizes, so. And we're just trying to, like I said, try a different avenue to sell the tickets.
So this is gonna be your only source of selling tickets, will be up to the,
Our members each have tickets to sell.
but, I mean, you won't be on the street.
No.
Rick, anything?
No, not really. Like Jim said, though, it's kind of like the boot thing. I mean, they allow the fire department to stand at major intersections with the boot to collect money. This is probably a little safer.
It's not impeding traffic.
Yeah, and that generally doesn't apply to anybody and everybody. I think that's the only organization that's allowed to do something like that at most places.
Christine?
It's a worthy cause, first off, but I do share the same concerns that Donna has mentioned, and my concerns are actually more about the congestion that already exists at the transfer station, with some confusion of new users to the transfer station, myself included. I probably add to the congestion and the confusion. I think if we were a year from now, I might be more comfortable, personally, just because I think we would have a better sense of the traffic patterns and the times that people are in and out of there. But I know there are times when there's cars backed into the road, and we're trying to move them in. I would feel more comfortable if we had somebody, maybe from Public Works, who could talk to us about the traffic patterns and whereabouts this would be set up, to make sure that there wasn't too much of a traffic pattern issue.
I mean, if it's the board's desire to support this, we will be prepared and we will make sure that the traffic moves, fine. I mean, it is only 3 days.
Yep.
I'm sure the membership would also assist. They're used to kind of directing traffic, so I'm sure they would make sure that it was not an issue and, cause further problems. So I do feel confident about that.
Okay. Yeah, I think we sold trash stickers up there, and it was a lot of people. It was a mad rush, and we did have a table set up, and we did sell them. It was kind of a crazy thing, but I think I agree that I support your request this time around. No, not even speaking to your organization, really. It's the first time we've had something of this, so I support your request. But I think the Board of Selectmen needs to take a look at a subcommittee to look at, we're really getting asked for use of our buildings more and more, especially with the middle school sports are beginning to use the gym, and the visitor center is getting more and more requests, and with the train and everything like that. I think this is just something, maybe it's a workshop or it's a subcommittee, something like that the board itself, working with Donna, should probably take another look at our form and the process and policies, and I think we should do that going forward. But I support your event. Okay? All right, any further discussion?
Is
Go ahead, Joe.
this needed for a vote today?
Yes.
Okay,
needed for
well,
vote.
I'm going to make a motion to allow the use of the transfer station on July 28th, August 4th, and August 11th. Do you have times that you plan on being there? Okay, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. to allow the Adams Alert Fire Company to sell tickets for their fundraiser, and that's my motion.
We have a motion by Joe. Do we have a second?
I'll say.
Second by Rick. Any further discussion? Could you stay up after we vote? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Opposed.
One opposed, any abstentions? None. Okay, you do have another event this Sunday for the Alert Hose. Do you mind speaking about that? before you-
Gladly. This coming Sunday is our annual Firefighter Sunday. It's up at the Bellevue Cemetery. It's 11 a.m. ceremony. It's to honor our deceased members of our department and firefighters across the nation. It's about a 15-minute ceremony. We bring in a guest speaker every year. We have our bagpipers leads us in. It means a lot to the company, and we'd love to see the Board of Selectmen and other townspeople there. It's one of those events a lot of people probably don't even know about, but I said, it means a lot to us, and the more people there, the better.
So, I think it was Chief Panseki this time. I think I might have got that one right. But I think he invited the Board of Selectmen, as the Alert Hose Company has invited the Board of Selectmen and the townspeople to this Sunday's memorial event for the fire department. The mass is 8 o'clock, St. Stan's.
Correct.
Okay, and then at 11 o'clock, there will be a ceremony at Bellevue Cemetery. And hopefully, we can get a lot of our citizens and as many Board of Selectmen members as we can to attend that event this Sunday. And I appreciate your support. And thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Have a good evening.
You too. Okay, back to the agenda. We have a facility use request This is for the Greylock Glen, Stu Besnoff, the Boy Scout, I believe he's here. Would you please come up to the podium, sir? Would you state your name, your organization, please?
Stuart Besnoff, I'm the Scoutmaster of Troop 93.
Okay, and what is your request?
Up to camp at Greylock Glen from Friday night until Saturday morning, or until Sunday morning.
And this is something that you do every year, I think, or is this your
This
first?
will be this will be the first time camping there not in association with Troop 38 from Adams.
Okay, all right. Well, we've had this before, and you're going to go separate this time, but we've had these sleepovers up there before, right?
Troop 93 camped there about a year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
If I may, could you kind of indicate where at Greylock Glen there was no map with the request, so it was difficult to know exactly where the boys will be camping?
As far away from the places that are used the most.
Okay.
Really, further, towards the farm than the gazebo and the pond.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're only overseeing 62 acres of that, so if you got out of the area which we're overseeing, you'd be into state property, and you need to contact DCR, so we really have to kind of know where you're going to be located.
I don't know if it shows up where that boundary is on the map that I have. I don't know how to identify.
Yeah,
I know
I understand,
when we
sure.
were there before, there was a field. There's a restroom that doesn't show up on this map on the other side of the road. And that's the field where we were located before.
Okay, that must be where the porta potty is on the other side.
Right, I believe it's in the area that's proposed for the campground.
Right.
It's
Plateaued
close to
area.
Gould Farm. So that is where Boy Scouts have had their camps before. So I think that would be acceptable.
Okay.
Yes, we're familiar with that area.
All right, so the request is for the dates of June 15th to June 17th, so it's 2 evenings, it looks like, right?
Yes,
Friday through Sunday,
yes.
okay? Arrive 6 PM on Friday, depart 9 AM Sunday morning. Camping at Greylock Glen, tents will be located away from the pond and structures. Your request is to use a small area in the field and woods west of the frequently visited places, which needs to be on the town of Adams land, which we just discussed. Only 6 participants, is that,
It's a small unit.
okay,
We may have actually less due to sports for some of the kids.
okay. And you will clean up, of course,
Yes.
and your insurance is up to date, yes. All right, I'm gonna leave that up to the board for a motion.
I just have one question.
Sure, Joe.
Where's your troop from? I see your address is Windsor. Are they from Windsor, the troop?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, you're from Windsor, okay.
good.
All right, what is the board's pleasure here?
I make a motion to approve the use of the Greylock Glen as described from 6/15 to 6/17/2018, arriving at 6 PM and departing at 9 AM on the 17th.
Okay, motion from Rick.
I'll second it.
Second from Joe. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none, unanimous.
Thank you.
Any questions, please contact the town hall, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, next we have a facility use request for Park Street. Anne Marie Belmonte, the hijinks night, there she is in the back. Could you please approach the board? Could you please state your name, your organization, and give us a brief description of your event, please?
Okay, I'm actually Crystal Howcroft. I'm on the hijinks committee,
Yes.
and what was the other part? Sorry, I'm new with this.
Okay, just relax.
Imagine our first time, too.
Oh. So I'm just here to answer questions, I guess, for
Sure.
hijinks.
This is the hijinks night, right? Okay. So were you involved last year in last year's hijinks?
I just didn't have to do this part.
It's not so bad.
Just out of curiosity, where's Anne Marie?
She is working tonight.
Okay.
Okay, the date of the hijinks this year is July 23rd, 2018. Hours of use are 6 to 9, with the street closed at 5 for setup. The participants, attendees anticipated is 500. They will, provisions for cleanup, trash can put out, and crew cleanup. So you will clean up the street when you're completed?
There was a misprint there, though. It's supposed to be 1,500, not 500.
Hey, we'll take them. If you get them here, that'd be great. Let's see, no alcoholic beverages, of course. Is there anything else here? The insurance looks in order. 5/30/18, they just got it. Approved, okay. What is the board's pleasure?
Mr. Chairman, I just have a question. Anne Marie isn't here, and this probably puts you on the spot, but being a private person as Anne Marie is, where do the proceeds go to?
Last year, we donated all the proceeds to the youth center,
Okay,
or no? Yeah, I think the youth center got them last year.
okay,
This year, there's a charity, but I'm not really sure which one.
okay. Do you know, is it a local chair? What is it?
Pop cares.
Pop Cares, okay.
Yeah, we usually
Yeah.
try to pick somewhere local. I just
Okay, I
wasn't
just
sure.
wanted to make sure that, you know, the money that's collected for hijinks that's in the town of Adams and using our street, that it goes to a good cause, and that Pop Care is certainly one of them.
Okay, what is the board's pleasure?
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead, Christian.
Is this a later start and end time? I thought it started at 5 or 5:30 in the past, no?
It starts at 6 every year.
Okay.
We tried to keep things the same.
It's that 9 o'clock end time when it's dark that I guess bothers me.
So you're not gonna need any time to, you know, get prepared, so if you're gonna start at 6, there's certainly gonna have to be a little time prior to
Closing
that, I
it.
would think, to get everybody in order and in place.
They're closing the road at 5, so we
Okay.
can get all the
All
vendors.
right,
They've
yeah.
got an hour, and they know that they have an hour to set up.
Okay, great. It just wasn't clear here when I read it. Just the road was gonna be closed.
Chief, you're all set with this request?
Yes, sir. 4 officers as.
See, I didn't have my glasses
practiced
on.
in the past. And also, they have personnel that's going to be working at the center to allow the vendors in.
Okay, great. All right, board's pleasure?
Make a motion to approve the facility use request of Park Street on July 23rd from 5 to 9 for hijinks night.
We have a motion by Rick, do we have a second?
I'll second
A second by Jim, any further discussion?
Yeah, I'd just like to, whoops.
Joe, go ahead.
I would just like to thank you for keeping the hijinks going. It's been a mainstay in our community for quite a long time, and just thank you and Anne Marie, and good luck with it.
Thank you.
Rick?
Yep, mine was, Chairman Duval asked about the trash and the crew cleanup, and we kinda got sidetracked with the numbers, but they do, you guys plan on cleaning up afterwards?
We did, we cleaned up afterwards last year, too.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none, unanimous decision. Thank you and good luck. We'll be there.
Yep.
Okay, next we have a facility use request, Russell Field for Sonia DeSanti. This is the youth center, I assume.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I'd ask the board to table this. I'd like the opportunity to meet with the applicant and establish some parameters for use of the field and use of the bathrooms and who does what.
Okay, would this also go along for the second request?
No, I think the second request we can move forward on.
Okay. So,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion, I'll be the motioner to make the table the request by Sonia DeSanti for use of the Russell Field facility. And let me go to the next page and see what we have for dates. Okay, dates July 9th through August 10th, which would be Monday through Friday, from the hours of 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'd like to have this table.
Okay, I have a motion to table. Do we have a second?
One second.
Second by Rick. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Non-unanimous. Okay, now we have another request on the agenda from Sonia DeSanti, the Youth Center from Adams. A request to use Russell Field.
Was this for the tennis courts?
Correct.
Okay, June 26th to August 2nd, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. This is the Youth Center Tennis Program. The anticipated number of attendees is 60. They will clean up as needed. What is the board's pleasure?
Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion to approve the facility use request for the youth center to use the tennis courts at Russell Field on, it's June 26th through August 2nd, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m.
Motion by Christine, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Jim, any further discussion? Hearing none, oh,
Just one. Am I reading that right? It says no cleanup necessary, or
For the
no
tennis.
cleanup needed?
Tennis?
Right.
I guess so.
You pack it in, you pack it out. So if they bring in trash, they gotta take it out with them.
exactly, so we don't expect any trash on the tennis courts, so. But, you're right. Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none, unanimous. Okay, we have a facility use request. Renfrew Park, North Adams, Babe Ruth. And we have Quinn Gladue here. Could you, I'm doing well. So you're part of the North Adams Babe Ruth League?
Yeah, we're actually in the process, we're a organized 501c3, so we're actually in the process of legally changing it to Northern Berkshire, because it really represents all of the Northern Berkshire County, or communities. But yes, right now it is actually North Adams Babe Ruth.
So that's true, that all of Northern Berkshire now is in one Babe Ruth League?
It actually has been.
Okay,
It actually
has
has been, and it's just been a matter of going through the process because we need to actually change our legal name. So like our insurance and so forth has to be under our legal entity name.
And who do you play? Who do you have for an opposition?
So we have blended teams in the county, or in North County, so they play each other. So we have one pooled league, so it's Lanesboro, Williamstown, North Adams,
Okay.
Adams,
So
Cheshire.
if your internal league, and then,
Yep.
okay.
And then we have, with the demise of Legion Baseball, with the exception of Post 68 and Pittsfield, we actually have kind of a travel component that we have to extend the season. So instead of fielding all-star teams, those kids play in the Eastern New York Travel Baseball League. And we also have teams that are beyond the Babe Ruth age. So we have teams in that 16 to 18-year-old range that are primarily kids from North County.
Okay, Scott Cernick, the chair, has approved this for the Parks Commission. Donna, do you have any inputs, or?
Yes, and again, it's nothing against Babe Ruth, but I find the hours of use, afternoons and evenings, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, unacceptable. We need a schedule. I don't know, do you have a schedule at this point?
Yeah, so I'm actually, we kind of split up. So I'm vice president, and what we did was we split because it's so much. We have 11 teams. And so we split. So I'm running kind of the travel side of it, and someone else is running the house league component. It's been a very wet spring, and they actually just had opening day last Sunday, and they've had to shuffle a lot with the schedule. We also pushed it out because the high school season got pushed out a week, and we try not to overlap. So I had actually spoken to Steve Scrocky, yeah, and committed to have that to him this week, that they would have the schedule this week for our games. The older games, we also play at Alcombe Bright Field in North Adams, but we have 11 teams that are trying to play and practice. So one field would obviously be inadequate to be able to do that. And now that the steeplecats are starting, Joel Field is not an option either.
So why are you don't the other communities that can offer up their fields? I
The
know
other
we-
communities don't have a field.
don't?
Lanesboro doesn't have a field anymore. They created a minor league field at Laston, where there was the larger field, and the only other fields are the high school operated fields, North County. And the colleges, Williams College, which nobody plays there, and the field at MCLA, so,
So it's Adams and North Adams that have the fields.
correct.
Right.
Correct.
So the other thing, Mr. Chairman, there is a concern of, having practices, and my understanding is, Quinn, when she went to the Parks Commission, this wasn't brought up as a policy of no
Mr. Novak was
practice.
there.
Yeah.
Right, so I think it's just, this is a concern. We have a lot of interest in our fields, which is terrific, but they do need to rest. So I think we're gonna need to have some discussions with Parks Commission members. There shouldn't be a disconnect between when an applicant goes to the Parks Commission and then they come to the Board of Selectmen. We should have clear policies. They need it for planning. We need it for tending the fields and making sure they're in good condition and have proper rest. So this is something I don't want to catch Quinn, in this year, but it is something we really need to pay attention to in the future, so.
So I would say, and I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you, Donna. And I think if Mark and Scrock were here, I don't know if they're watching, but if Mark and Scrock were here, I think that they would say that we've been pretty good custodians of the facility. In the past, we've hired John Tremarky to work side by side with them and purchase the clay bricks to go in the front of the mound. We have a policy for our coaches that at the end of the night, the home teams have to make sure that the home plate and the mound is raked in, and we actually paid to have John also install bullpens that were kind of out of the field of play for the older kids to be able to warm up on the field. So the challenge we have is that baseball is a dying sport, not just in Berkshire County or the Northeast, but the numbers are dwindling, right? It's not an easy sport to play. John, I know that you coached Babe Ruth a few years ago.
Lacrosse has become a very popular sport.
Yeah, and it's also, it's a challenging sport.
It is.
To play and to excel at when you get on the bigger field. And so we're undertaking a lot of activities in the late summer, running some Sandlot series in partnership. Obviously, Mike is a coach at MCLA with some of the college players to help the younger kids transition to the bigger field. And we're trying to keep kids playing, but there really are no other facilities for us to be able to practice at. And I would argue that baseball puts the least wear and tear on the outfield. There's 3 people standing out there, and they're
That's true.
for the most part, they're standing there. I would say that probably some of the fall sports, and this will be an unpopular comment probably, but summer is the best time to be on the field, right? The turf is in the best condition other than maybe the very early fall. We do try to be a good custodian of the facility, but without being able to practice there, I don't know how we would do it with 11 teams. We're struggling now just to be able to get games in with that number of teams, let alone being able to get some practice time in.
So all those teams practice at the Adams, even if they're from a different community, I don't want to point any.
Well, we have blended, the teams are all blended.
They're all
So there
blended.
isn't a team that's all Adams, because
Okay.
what you would end up with is a stacked team, right?
Okay.
If you had an all Lanesboro team or an all Adams team, you'll have years where they'll be stacked. So the kids are actually pooled between the teams.
Okay.
We're trying to create, also attract younger coaches. Some of the college kids that have graduated, like Nate Alvozek is coaching a team now. Robert Jutras from North Adams, I know you probably know.
Oh, yeah.
Juice. We're trying to attract those people in because frankly, I'm tired. All right, Mike's getting tired. We're getting old. So, we're trying to bring younger people in and bring some new energy in and try to keep the numbers up in the game. So,
Okay. Joe, you were at the meeting. Anything you'd like to add? Or?
No, they went over it, very thoroughly, and the Park Commission had a lot of back and forth with this. But was this what you presented to them, the dates of use, June 18th through August 9th, Monday through Thursday?
I have 6/1 through 8/31
Yeah,
for North Adams, Babe Ruth.
But did you, I don't see, it's hard for me to recall, you know.
we usually go right up to the end of the summer, like
Right,
where
but I'm
it's not.
saying, was it Monday through Thursday? Was that the agreement with,
So what has happened historically is that over the last few years is Berkshire Adult Baseball has had the field on Wednesdays and Sundays, so we schedule around them. And we aren't on the field those days, so we try to use the field on the days that they're not on the
but
field.
was this, I know Scott's signature, but I can't recall, so I'm just asking you, was it Monday through Thursdays originally?
No, it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday is what
Okay.
it should be.
Well, you have Monday through Thursday, at least on this. Do I
It
have
could
the
be
wrong
it.
I
one?
think you might have the wrong one, Joe.
Dates of use?
Yeah, I think you have the next one.
Okay, I'm very sorry. You're correct.
So
Yeah.
what organization do we share the field with? And we have the Babe Ruth League, and you mentioned another baseball organization?
Berkshire Adult Baseball?
Okay, I think we've already dealt with them, haven't we?
I think they
Sure.
came early.
Yeah, they did.
Late this year, usually much earlier, but.
Okay.
I have just one other question. I don't know if, you're saying evening, so will that require the use of lights?
You know, we really try to minimize the amount of light usage. Usually, what we do is we try to start our games at 6. If we start much earlier than that, parents are running like nuts to get their kids to games. So we try to not start our games earlier than 6. And sometimes at this time of year, if you have a long game, you might need a half hour of lights. We try to be very judicious with our use of the lights. And then, usually a couple times during the summer, we'll try to have a couple games under the lights. Is like a Friday night under the lights game. We find that a lot of people, like in town, will come out and actually watch those games. The other thing, as I would say, is the travel component of our league, the Berkshire Americans, has a really strong reputation kind of in this region. The teams are very competitive and good, and we get a lot of people from Eastern New York that call us, like my phone is blowing up off the hook, people calling us saying, we want to come over and play you guys. We love the field over there. So the travel component also brings people in that are from outside of Berkshire County because we're not playing Berkshire County teams. And we usually play a doubleheader on one weekend day. So like our 16-year-old team will play a doubleheader on Saturday. And so teams are here pretty much the whole day. So.
Okay, any questions from the board? What is the board's pleasure?
I will make a motion to approve the facility use request for Renfrew Fields for the Northern Berkshire Babe Ruth League, doing business as the North Adams Babe Ruth League, June 1st through August 31st, afternoon and evenings, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, provided that they give Town Hall a schedule of practices and games.
We have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Rick, any further discussion?
Yeah, I'd just like to say that a child or a young adult playing sports is a good thing, and I'm all for that, and I really concur with you, because I loved baseball growing up, and it is dying. And I'd mentioned that, and Chairman Duval just did, I think with the advent of lacrosse falling in the same season time, it's put a crunch on it even more.
I mean, the weather in the Northeast also
Yeah,
is not,
no, yeah, right.
favorable, right? It's not like we live in Arizona.
Yeah.
I just do have one question before you have your final vote. So will we be able to practice there this year? Is that what we're saying?
I think I would go along with that if you'll work with our DPW staff. You know, they're really stretched, and if we get a lot of rain or something and we need some rest on the field, I hope you'll just work with us.
Yeah, we always do that. Like, I mean, we're not going to go out there and tear the field up. It doesn't benefit us at all. And on the weekends, we line the field. So we don't expect, or if they're taxed with trying to do something for softball, we'll even line the field for ourselves, so.
And you say clean and field rake, so you rake the infield?
We do,
Okay.
yeah, we do. I mean, usually they have to drag it because that
Yeah.
infield surface is
Right.
like concrete, but we do rake in the mound and we make sure that things are picked up. And actually during the summer, we usually tarp the mound too if it's dry.
Chief, you have a question?
I just want to add that I don't think the town's going to experience any problems with this. Quinn's involvement in the league is longstanding, and she runs an outstanding program, and I think that it's a benefit for the town and for the board. Just wanted to throw that out there. She runs a good program.
I appreciate that, thank you.
All right, thank you, Chief. Any further discussion? So we have a motion and a second, right?
Yep.
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none, unanimous.
Thank you very much
Good
for your
luck.
time. Come on down, watch you move. And Joe, I expect to see you at the alumni day this year,
Yeah, okay.
September 22nd.
Yeah, I'm an
I'm
old
traveling all over New
alumni
York
from.
State to see my 16-year-old nephew play baseball, so I understand.
They run into each other.
We might.
Next, we have on the agenda, facility use request, Renfrew Park basketball courts, Adams Summer Basketball, June 18th, 2018 to August 9th, 2018. The request is for June 1st to August 31st. Am I still on that same one like Joe was? Yep.
August 9th.
All right, so let's try that again. This is from Jake Levesque. Okay, so are these the dates?
Yes.
June 18th to August 9th, Monday through Thursday, 5 PM to 9 PM. Basketball courts for nonprofit youth basketball, grades K through 12. Use of building for storage, water, electricity, and bathrooms, concession stand, participants 80 to 100. Program will clean up after each day. The insurance, they have insurance. Okay, again, Jake Levesque, Scott Cernick, Chair of the Parks Commission, has signed off on it. What is the board's pleasure?
Make a motion to approve the facility use request for the basketball courts at Renfrew Field for Adams Summer Basketball League, June 18th through August 9th, Monday through Thursday, 5 PM to 9 PM.
Motion by Christine.
I'll second it.
And we have a second by Joe. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Unanimous. Okay, we got through those. Department reports. We have the town administrator's report. Donna.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, I wanted to tell the board that we're wrapping up work on the municipal vulnerability preparedness grant from, that we received from the Commonwealth to assess how climate change can affect the risks of natural disasters within the community. We held a successful community workshop last month on May 11th with over 30 participants. They identified actions that the town should take to become a more resilient community in the face of climate change impacting our weather patterns. As the next step in the MVP process, the town will hold a public forum to present information gathered as a result of the grant project and then seek additional input in prioritizing actions the town should take to become more resilient. The public forum will be held at Town Hall on Thursday, June 14th at 6 p.m. So I hope board members will be able to attend. The invitation for bids for the Town Hall roof replacement project will be advertised in the Berkshire Eagle tomorrow, and then it'll appear in Central Register next week. The proposed project scope of work includes roofing and flashing, siding, painting, and associated general work. We're hoping that we've included in the bid documents several bid alternates. So we're hoping that this will allow us to do more extensive work on the clock tower. Bids are due Thursday, June 28th at 4 p.m. And if we are able to achieve a good bidding process, we anticipate this work would be started later in July and probably finish within 1 to 2 months. The Adams Visitor Center parking project, as the board knows, the town's in-kind work for the project, which included the removal of trees and the removal of areas of asphalt curbing by our DPW staff, is now completed. The town's contractor, CNA Construction, will be mobilizing at the site on June 18th, so that's Monday, town meeting date. As the board is aware, the project will be undertaken in phases. We'll probably start on the north side of the parking lot in front of the COA building. And then after we get the work done and put a binder coat on, then we'll proceed to the south side. Part of that is because, if you recall, we have the driveway entrance on the south side now. So we need time to create that center driveway, which is kind of a hallmark of the project. We're going to try to accommodate the public as much as possible. However, I just want it known that the more constraints we put on the contractor, the longer the project is going to take. CNA is very committed to completing this project in a very timely manner. So we will be holding a public meeting probably also the week of the 18th. So people will have an opportunity to get more insight in terms of how the project will progress. That's all I have.
Okay, any questions for Donna?
Yeah, just one question, one comment. The Baker administration is very serious about this climate change. They've put a lot of money in the budget toward studying this, so I'm glad that we're one step ahead of a lot of communities that are doing this. And lastly, I would like to know the Adams Visitor Center parking lot improvement program. Have we worked with CNA Construction before?
Yes, a couple of times. First, most recently, they were the contractor for the roundabout project.
I remember you saying that.
They also, years ago, we did the parking lot behind the Jones Block, what we called the Hinge Block parking lot. That was also grant funded, and they did that project.
Okay, that's all I got.
Thank you. Donna, what is, I just have one thing. What is the status of the roads being repaved, sidewalks being redone? Do you have bids coming in on that?
Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Bids are due at 4 p.m. So keep your fingers crossed. We'll have good bids. And once we get bids in, I'll provide the board and the public a list of the roads and sidewalks we hope to undertake.
Great, thank you. All right, subcommittee and liaison reports. The list that we put together at the workshop is not completed yet. We went through it the last few days, but we just couldn't get it ready for tonight. As soon as it's ready, we'll get it out to the board. Rick, anything?
I have nothing.
Christine?
I did attend the Adams Cheshire Regional School Committee meeting. Really, the highlight of the meeting was that they have finalized an agreement with their incoming superintendent, who will be on board in July. So Dr. John Vosberg will be starting with them soon. And the rest were just some updates.
The good doctor will be here next meeting in 2 weeks on television to meet with the board. So it should be an exciting discussion on his vision with the school district going forward. So please join us on that. Joe?
I attended the Park Commission, excuse me, meeting, and a lot of what we discussed today with Quinn and others about use of the fields and scheduling came up. But in hindsight, once again, it just lets me know that we're short of parks in this community. We could certainly use one more, so that's something as a select board and all of our town officials should start thinking about. And that's all I have.
Jim?
Joe and I attended a ribbon cutting for Bright Eyes.
That's right. Thank you, gentlemen,
Sunday.
for doing that.
It was well attended, actually, and it was fun. And Joe and I also attended the Hoosick Valley graduation last Friday night.
Great, outstanding. Okay, for communications, I have a couple letters. I think, Christine, you wanted to talk about or Joe or anyone else wants to talk about the charter spectrum that John Barrett and Senator Hines have been very highly vocal and included on. But first, I will read you a letter. The Board of Selectmen, Town of Adams, To whom it may concern, with this letter, I wish to express my appreciation to you and to our Adams Council on Aging for allowing me the use of the new vehicle donated by Fallon Health. I was very graciously driven by volunteer Bruce Shepley, thank you, Bruce, over to Albany, New York, to an eye institute for an eye problem. Thank you to all for the great help. This vehicle is a real asset to our town of Adams. Very, very truly yours, Paulina E. Sneezek. Thank you, Paulina, for your letter. We don't get many of these in the positive notes, so we appreciate that from you. Thank you. The second communication comes from Berkshire Gas. This may take a couple of minutes. I still got a few to get us out of here in record time. This is from Berkshire Gas to Mr. Duvall. As you may be aware, Berkshire Gas recently petitioned the Massachusetts Department of Public Utilities for a 4.3% increase in its rates, the first such rate petition filed by the company in 17 years. If approved, the typical residential heating customer would see an annual increase in their bill of $40. They go on and on and on with the legal jumbo here. But they do have two public hearings, and if you are concerned with the $40 increase to your bill, and it all depends on how much heat that you spend, and there is a list here, and you probably can find this on their website, or call them, Berkshire Gas, berkshiregas.com, www.berkshiregas.com. Check that out for the increase they are going forward with the state. They're requesting the state. The gentleman is Christopher C. Farrell. He's the manager of corporate communications and government relations. And the other person in his absence is Karen Zink. So if you have some concerns about Berkshire Gas and increasing their prices, please give the company a call. There are two public hearings, of course, one's in Greenfield, but the other one is July 23rd, 2018 at 7 p.m., Berkshire Community College, Boland Theater, Kutzevitsky Building, 1350 West Street, Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Again, 7 o'clock. So if you would like to go, and the Berkshire Gas will have representation there, this will be your opportunity to express your concern about the increase in your gas bill. And again, it all depends on how much you use. If you don't use much, you won't see much of an increase. If you use a lot of gas for heat, you may see a larger amount increase. But please get educated on this. Please contact the company, get educated, and if you have concerns, go to the public hearing. That's what they're there for residents to express their opinions. Public meeting here. This was on our desk this evening. Should I read this?
Yeah, that's what I announced, but.
Okay, Donna's already taken care of that, right? All right, keep me in line. I think that's all I have. Go to the, go to the order. We are going to executive session this evening. We have 3 reasons to go into executive session, and we will vote on that after we go to the good of the order. Rick.
Nothing.
Christine.
So I do have a couple of announcements. One, Mr. Chairman, you did mention the Charter Spectrum petition. Senator Hines' office has reached out. I know that Representative John Barrett has been pretty vocal about really taking Charter Spectrum to task. There is a petition that is circulating, and it is to keep a Massachusetts station on the air here in Berkshire County. I believe as of this morning, they did take off Channel 5 from Boston out of the lineup, but it is something that our local delegation is looking for support from Berkshire County residents to sign a petition so that they have a little bit more information and to bring to the different committees, to the Federal Communications Commission, and to really kind of talk about Charter Spectrum's mishandling, misuse of the contracts that they have with all the municipalities in Berkshire County. So I think we can put some information out about this petition, maybe on the town's Facebook page, just so we can get that information circulating. I do also want to mention, this is probably our last meeting before town meeting. We do have town meeting coming up on Monday, June 18th at 7 PM. There are a number of new town meeting members, so they should be getting their booklets in the mail. Town clerk has assured me that those have gone out and are probably being received yesterday, today, or tomorrow. The town clerk and the town moderator have indicated that they would be at Plunkett at 6 PM, starting at 6 PM on the 18th, to answer any questions new town meeting members might have, to give a brief overview, just a little before their first meeting. So if you are a new town meeting member, or if you are a town meeting member that might need a refresher, I encourage you to be at Plunkett at 6 PM to ask those questions, but the meeting will start at 7. And I wanted to thank two organizations. One is Tapestry. Tapestry was here in May, the end of May, and they did 2 free Narcan trainings for residents and other officials. And I wanted to thank them for that. I did attend the Narcan training. And I also wanted to thank the organizers of the Memorial Day Parade. I think it was a great turnout from those who marched in the parade, as well as those who came out to cheer everybody on. So thank you to all the organizers for that. That's it.
Okay, Joe.
Okay, just a few things. Jim alluded to a few of what I was going to bring up. We attended the ribbon cutting for Real Eyes Gallery, and it's nice to see another business opening in downtown. The more businesses that open, the more vibrant our community will become. I also attended for Peg Levitt at Russell Street Field. Peg was an early pioneer to help out women's sports here in this community. And there was a nice turnout, and I'd like to thank Corey Bishop, who put it on, and the family came, family members were there, and a lot of people were very happy with that. And something that was brought up that really I never gave much thought was, Corey mentioned that this is the first plaque in the town of Adams commemorating a woman, although Susan Banthony was mentioned. She's not far behind. Okay, and also, once again, Jim alluded to this. I attended, along with Jim, the graduation of the Hoosick Valley High School seniors. It was hot as could be there. There's no doubt about it. But we should be proud of our students. A lot of them are going on to their secondary education. A good number of them are going into the military, and a small portion were going on to work. But what I did notice is that something we're going to have to take very seriously in the near future is there was only 80 graduates, and it's just showing, and we all know this, that the numbers of students in our school systems are starting to decline at quite a rate. So that's something that, once again, I know that we're all aware of, that we have to start thinking a little bit more about regionalization. And lastly, with the chief here, I was coming down Bellevue Avenue the other day, and one of your police officers came out, and there was 2 young girls there, and he each gave them a little ticket for a free ice cream. And I think that's the kind of policing that I really enjoy to hear about. I won't mention the street, but it was in an area where, the kids were challenged. And I just want to thank you and your officers for doing that type of commitment to young children. They were happy as could be.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
We have been doing that for a few years now.
Okay, great. That's all I have.
Jim?
I don't have anything.
All right. We do have 3 motions to go into executive session. I'd like to take one at a time. It is a roll call vote. After we come out of executive session, the only action we will take is to vote on an employee agreement before we adjourn for the evening. Could I have a motion for number 2, please?
I'll make a motion to go into executive session for reason number 2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel.
Motion by Christine, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Rick. Any discussion? Hearing none. It's a roll call vote. Rick?
Yes.
Christine?
Yes.
John, yes.
Yes.
Joe, yes.
Yes.
Jim, yes. Motion passes. The next one, reason 3.
I'll
Nick.
make,
Make a motion to enter an executive session for purpose number 3 to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or the litigation if any open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or the litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares.
Motion made by Rick. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Christine. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote. Rick?
Yes.
Christine?
Yes.
John? Yes. Joe?
Yes.
And Jim?
Yes.
Motion approves. And finally, reason number 6.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session for reason number 6, to consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property if the chair declares that an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body.
Motion by Christine. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Jim. This is a roll call vote. Any discussion first? None? Rick?
Yes.
Christine?
Yes.
John, yes. Joe?
Yes.
And Jim, yes. We're going to take a 5-minute break.